Here's the thing, we've had our RV for 1.5 years now, and I have been absolutely on top of maintaining this bad boy, okay? I care that everything is in place, organized, well maintained. So when I tell you that last week I found out I need to be maintaining the outside compartment of our refrigerator, I was not ready to have this entire RV maintenance topic that apparently is supposed to be done annually. Every single year you should be doing this maintenance. I had no idea it existed. So we're gonna do it together. For the very first time, we're going to do our outside compartment RV propane burning fridge maintenance. Because not only can a gunked up area cause a problem if you try to light your propane, it can also be a problem if rodents and pests get into that compartment and compromise your electrical wires. Take my word for it as someone on the YouTubes, which means that I inherently know what I'm talking about. This is important maintenance to do, okay? So we're gonna tackle it. We're gonna see what we can get done and how the process goes as someone that has researched this but never actually done it themselves. And hopefully by the end of this video, you will be ready to tackle this RV maintenance item that should be done annually to keep you, your RV, and everyone that travels with you safe. First step is we need to get our refrigerator panel off. We need to be careful not to pull on our drain plug too much while we do it. Otherwise, we are going to go for these two little clips. And as far as I can tell, we just need to use a screwdriver to turn them, and then it'll pop right off. Okay, 2 updates. 1, the screwdriver did not work. I'm going to try the second suggested method, which is needle nose pliers to just pull the plugs completely out. Second update, I have already spilled coffee on my shirt. So if you see a coffee stain on my shirt, no, you didn't. Okay, I cannot stress enough that I am doing this live. I have not tried this before. We are going through this adventure together. I'm not showing you how to do it. I am showing you how I am doing it. I thought the whole plug was going to come off the hatch before it would open, but all I had to do was turn the little soft part on top of the harder base and it came right away from the unit. So I will zoom in better on number 2 and show you exactly what you need to do on this type, and maybe you will not fumble as much as I do when you do this. We have a base piece that is a hard black plastic, and then we have a top piece that's a softer black rubber, and all we need to do in my case is turn the softer black rubber up and down, and then it pulls away cleanly. On the bottom, it's just little insets, not actual clips, so those just rested in slots. All I had to do was lift straight up, and I'll feed the hose back out. And we have access. So the first thing I'm gonna do now that we have access and I've given it just a quick visual inspection is I'm gonna take off this metal panel that covers the igniter housing and a little bit of the chimney. So what we want to see here is a completely spotless container. We want to see wires that have no damage whatsoever. Instead, we have a lot of gunk and grime, a whole entire screw that's just hanging out here. Thank you so much, Ford Motorhomes. And quite a lot of dust and debris that probably would be flammable. This should be very simple to remove. I have 1, 2, 3 screws to take off, and then it should remove without a problem. So following the directions on the internet, I'm going to put on gloves to get this panel out because apparently these sheet metal edges are or can be sharp. And this bad boy should just slide right out. Oh yeah, that's it. So before I go any further, I do want to say that the battery is off to the RV. The propane is also off. I have double checked both of these things. None of this should be live. None of this should be getting any propane through, and there's no chance of an open spark getting close to it anyway, so safety first, fam. So we removed the access panel, and now we see our actual chimney, and we see the housing that is holding the igniter. Now in the videos I watched, there were 2 screws holding this little housing box on. It appears that ours only has the 1. So we are going to back this screw out, and unless there's a hidden screw that I'm not seeing, this box cover should come off cleanly. So that is not what we want to see in the compartment where fire is. Hello? All of that is flammable. Well, maybe not all of it. Some of it's just ash, but we don't want it. So what we're looking at here is we have our propane source. Propane comes out here. This little guy with the curve in it is the igniter, and then the thick pipe behind it with the little hashes in it, that's where propane comes through and fire goes out. Now, there's definitely not supposed to be an actual bug in there right now. We are going to Google if there's supposed to be a space between the propane intake and the burner pipe. We're going to make sure that the igniter is not gummed up or nasty with residue, and then we're going to make sure that the burning pipe is clean. The gap between the burner jet and the burner tube is supposed to be there. I did panic a little bit when I saw it because it didn't seem to be present in either of the Dometic videos that I watched before this. But I've looked at the part on eBay and multiple places where they sell the actual burner assembly all together, like this whole box of things, and there is a gap there, so we're good. Two screws that aren't supposed to be there. Thor, get your shit together. We're gonna start taking screws out until we can take the whole assembly out, hold it in our hands, make sure it's clean and in good condition. We are going to start with this guy that as rusty as can be. I'm not sure why that would all be so corroded, but we might need to do a quick Google and see if that's a common issue, if there's something that we need to clean or change. Little bastard. So the alleged beauty about this project is that if you put the screws back in the holes, everything will auto line itself back up for you. So far we have taken out a screw from here. We've taken out these two screws that are behind the burner tube. We're gonna take out this little guy that's holding the bracket back to that tube. Igniter is attached to the burner tube, and the burner tube is slid in a little slit at the very end. It is not attached, it's just placed, and apparently it's going to take some wiggling to get that out of there. The reason that it's such a tight little fit is so that it's always placed correctly in relation to both the propane source and the chimney. So we're going to just keep giving it a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until it comes out properly. Unlike literally everything else in my life, we're not going to force it. We're just gonna keep giving it little, wiggle, wiggle, wiggles, and there we have it. This is our burner tube. This is where propane comes in and flame comes out. This little guy is the sparker, the igniter, and that's what actually sets the fire when the propane starts coming through. So our big concerns right here are we want to know that the igniter is clean and clear. We don't want any gunk or gomp to be on that. And we want to make sure that our flame tube is clean and uncompromised. So we'll have a little bit of gunk to brush off the outside of that. The inside looks very clean, and these hashes look like they haven't been compromised in any way. So if I turn it upside down, hopefully when I tap on it, nothing will come out. See how I'm getting tiny pieces of ash? So we do want to go in with canned air here and blow out this tube, make sure that nothing is clinging to the walls that's going to build up over time. So I've seen a couple ways to clean out this area. One guy had a shop vac that he was vacuuming with. Another guy had a shop vac that he was blowing air with. We do have a shop vac, but it is very much a pain to get it all the way out here to the RV. So I am going to try to manually remove most of the debris. We'll see how that goes. I also might use canned air like for computers. Just going to be a little bit more of an expensive option, but I have it on hand and I know how to use it sparingly. That was actually really effective. Y'all, all of this stuff is so flammable. First of all, I am really glad that I wore gloves for that. There's a lot of raw sheet metal edges in that compartment that would have really chewed up my fingers if I hadn't had gloves on. Second of all, this is a 2022 RV build. It is not ancient. We have had it for a year and a half. The prior owner had it for about a year before us. So it has only been out and about off the factory floor for 2.5 years, less than 3. It was filthy in there. We also have not had it in actual storage. We have been in and out using it at least every couple of months. So now we've got the compartment itself tidied up. We're going to look at that flame tube, make sure that it's cleaned out too. We can take the sparker off of the flame tube if we wanted to. I don't think that that's necessary right now. I'm not seeing any sort of buildup here on the sparker. It's not gummy, gunky, and because we haven't really used it a lot anyway, it should be just fine. I do want to blow some compressed air through the flame tube itself because when we did tap on it, when we first took it out, we got a couple pieces of ash come out. All right, I think that genuinely was just a couple of loose pieces of ash. I don't think we have any buildup in here yet. I am going to go ahead and give the outside a brush off. And we can look inside of it. It's really not clear to see on the camera, but you have a little bit of insight because there's light coming in here. So I think if there were any major buildup, I would be able to see that. So the majority of the debris was in the bottom of the housing itself and inside the housing for the flame tube. Everything is all cleaned up. We have visually inspected. Nothing looks damaged or corroded. Nothing looks like it has been gnawed on or chewed on or scratched in any way. We're going to start putting everything back together. Again, this is literally just Legos. Take the screws out, take the parts out, put the parts back in, put the screws back in, it lines itself back up. Easy peasy. Anybody can do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put back in the 3 screws that I don't think we needed to take out in the first place. Now we need to get our flame tube wiggled back into place so that we can add 1 screw that was holding that on. Oh wow, okay, that was actually a lot easier than I expected it to be. Now we're going to put the housing back on the heat tube unit. Okay, and then our screw goes on the top there. Once it's lined up, we know that everything's lined up how it should be. And then last up, we're going to put the final panel back over everything. Again, put the screws through the holes. It'll pull everything back into place and it'll end up exactly where it was when you started. Anytime you're trying to seat more than 1 screw in pre-drilled holes, leave all of them loose until you've got all of them lined up, and then go through and cinch them all down once everything's placed. And just like that, we have cleaned and maintained the outside of our Dometic propane burning RV refrigerator. Now, before we finish, I'm going to do one more maintenance task. I'm going to get some hot, very lightly soapy water from inside the house, and I'm going to pour it down the drain from the fridge inside. That will make sure that we don't have anything gunked up in our drain hose. I'll just keep pouring until it runs clear. Putting the panel back on will be the exact opposite process. Again, we're just doing Legos here. We're going to slot it in the holes, we're going to close it up, and then we're going to twist the top of the little rubber buttony things. Okay, so in our refrigerator, this is the drip tray, and it funnels down in the back to this little bitty guy, and that's what feeds the drain pipe. So we're going to pour the water in here as well as I can. Hopefully that works. However, I'm going to put you on the outside so that you can watch and see if the water is gross or not. Okay, I'm fairly certain that was the most boring footage I have ever captured in the history of my YouTube career. I really don't think that that hose had been dunked up at all. I don't see any reason why any sort of nasty drainage would have come out of it, but better safe than sorry, and if someone on the internet recommends it, it must definitely be true as a part of maintenance. My proof of that is that I am making this video for you, and you should just believe me when I say that you need to do your refrigerator maintenance. So unlike my last maintenance project, which took 3 days in a row of work, this was a pretty easy morning. Really the biggest roadblock that I had was trying to get the panel off on the first place, and that was just a lack of understanding with how it actually functions. So you won't have that problem because I did the hard part of bumbling through it for you, and hopefully this video has been really helpful for you. If you are someone that does your own RV maintenance, please let me know, is this something that you do regularly? Do you clean out your propane burning fridge compartment every single year? Do you clean it every couple years? Are you like me and you never even realized it was a thing until right now, and now you're questioning, have I almost set my RV on fire? I hope you'll join me in some of the other videos that I have for you. One of the most recent maintenance videos I did was cleaning and maintaining your potable water and water heater tanks. If this has been helpful for you, I think that one will be too. So stick around for that recommended video, and I will see you on our next adventure.